What's up, YouTube? This is Jacob here with SealTeamRogue featuring Alon Camus.
What's up, guys?
He went out here, went ham at the Kissimmee Regional. How'd you do, Alon?
1x2 and got my invite to Nationals.
Nice. What place did you end up in?
22nd.
22nd out of how much?
344.
Woo! Saucy. Yeah. What were you running, man?
I was running Pen Magicians.
Awesome. So let's go into this. Let's see what you did, man. Let's see how it is.
All right. Let's see what we got. So, I definitely the main man of the deck. The 3 astrographs.
How good was that for you, man?
Oh, it was great. Just because you always either saw it in your hand and you can go off and make pop it in your pendulum scale, get Stargazer out, and not even use your normal summon, because you can get something else out as well to get 2 monsters on board and make Electromite.
I can't believe that didn't get hit on the ban list, man.
No,
that card's broken.
Oh my god! And so the other thing is, once it's in your extra deck, you're golden, because Electromite just recycles it, and then something got destroyed because of Electromite's effect, and he comes and he special summons out. So you're basically, if you have 5 monsters on board, you just go, you take 2 to make the first Starving Venom, then Starving Venom pops something, and now you have another one. So you have this plus 1 more monster, then this plus 1 more monster. True. So this loop is just crazy.
Yeah, the Starving Venom pops because you copy the Electromite, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
alright. Okay, I get you.
Next I got 3 Chronographs. This card is amazing as well, just because sometimes you just have that 1 extra monster in your hand and you could just summon himself and that monster. Nice. And on top of that, like I play these with my level 6s, and then on top of that I also play an Oath Dragon. So sometimes I don't even use the Oath Dragon in scale, and if I can make the Naruto and make the triple negate board, I just bring this as my last target for Starving Venom into hand, and has his effect to come out and bring out Oath Dragon, making the Naruto.
Nice.
Next I play the 1 Oath Dragon. Amazing card. It's a low scale, which this deck does suffer from low scales. And on top of that, you recycle. As long as you have a Magician on the other side, or in the other Pendulum zone, you can recycle any Magician or odd-eyes monster from your extra deck back into your hand. So what you want to do, essentially, is if you end up with him, make sure you use your effect. That way on your next turn, before you Pendulum Summon, use his effect so you can have an extra monster coming out onto the field from the into your hand.
For the pen summon. Exactly. Did you miss another one, or you're solid with just 1?
I'm okay with just 1, because he can be a brick, because he is a level 5, and I mean a level 6, and you're not able to normal summon him.
True.
And of course, Harmonizing Magician.
The beautiful.
I won because of Harmonizing Magician, even just being in scale, because it boosted my attack up 300 for having 3 Magicians inside my extra deck.
Troll.
I even did it to you. You were like, how much is he at right now?
That's true. I remember that.
Great card, especially when you go and, alright, special summon, pen summon, and then you go and get Janky Magician, which is another level 7, to make your Vortex Plague happen.
Oh, okay. I see that.
You can either do that, or you can get any level 4, which is your Black Fang or your Purple Poison, and you can go into a Synchro play as well. Great card. Next I have Triple Purple Poison.
Stable.
Oh my god, this is the fixer of all problems. I had a Masterpiece on board, and my opponent had a Masterpiece on board, and all I did was normal summon Purple Poison, because he was only unaffected by spells and traps. Attacked into it, and yeah, I took the damage, but guess what? It gets destroyed, and now I get to pop that monster.
Because the popping is a monster effect.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yes.
Hate Masterpiece.
Amazing card. 3 Black Fang, great card, especially putting it in scale. Go ahead and pop himself to have somebody's attack. Great card. And then after you've made the Vortex play happen, you pretty much have an Astrograph or a Zanky Magician in the graveyard, so you get to summon it out. Or if you ended up having to pitch a Magician for Pen Call, then you can, or Twin Twister, then you have a Magician in there to be able to special summon.
Nice.
Next I have Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm. Dark Worm, great, because it's just a 1 card. You send it in there with Dragon
Foolish Burial?
Foolish Burial and Dragon Shrine.
Oh, Dragon Shrine, that's right.
And then special summon, when you have no monsters, and then you get a donut. You get the gate 0, which is a 0 scale, which is the best kind of scale.
The best kind.
Because you can summon anything. Great card. Especially like if you get this engraved, then do that, then pop Astrograph or Chronograph to bring out another monster. Guess what? You didn't even use a normal summon to get, or your Pendulum summon to get Electromite on board. Next, like we spoke about, the 2 donuts. Great card. And this is a little spice that I added. I mean, I had it before for the YCS, but I didn't see it as much as I wanted to, so I tested without it. But then I ended up going with it, and I was going with it at 2, but last minute change I made was using it at 3. And at 3, man, I actually did see that card more often in my opening hand that I really wanted to, because you set that in scale, then you go Duelist Alliance, gets a thing. Then you go Pen Call, gets another one. Then you go Scale.
Gets its 3rd one.
And gets its 3rd one.
And then you get the search.
Which normally you put a donut there, because that's what you're gonna pop. And then you get a search for anything you want. If you're suffering from a high scale, you need a high scale, you get a high scale. If you just want an Astrograph or a Chronograph, you could get a Chronograph.
Magical Abductor, you guys. The pros are running it. If you're not running it, you're not a pro.
And the other thing is, it does not have a counter cap, which is very important. Like the Kaiju's field spell says you can only have a max of 5 counters.
There's no max on this.
There's no max on this, and it counts for every spell that resolves.
So including your opponents.
Including your opponent.
That's dumb. That's broken.
Yeah. Next I have the one-ofs Garnet. And I mean, they're Garnets basically. So Stargazer and Time Gazer, those are what you summon out with your Astrograph and your Chronograph.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at these cards, you see their scale 1 and 8, so that's actually pretty good in the scale format.
Yeah, but you gotta also remember that
you want to special summon them.
You want to special summon them, but if you haven't ever end up having to put them in scale, this one you have to control no monsters to be able to even put it in there.
Ooh, never mind. I take that back.
This one's fine. You can put it in time. But the other thing is, the other scale has to be a magician. If not, this turns into a level 4 scale, and this turns into a 4 scale, which is terrible.
Yeah.
So you gotta make sure you're paying attention to that. And the one's Yankee Magician, which came in clutch on my last matchup, because it was True Draco Mech Knights. So he had Masterpiece on board. I ended up having this in my hand, and so I pen summoned him and kept him up on board because of his monster effect, which is once per turn during either player's turn, you could target 1 light monster and negate the effect. And because that True Draco was summoned by True King's Return, it's not a attributed monster, so Diagram can't protect it, and it doesn't have any protection from anything. So if you would have decided to go and pop something, negate.
Done deal.
Done deal. And he's a level 7, so when and he's a magician, so when Harmonizing brings him out, you can use him to make the Vortex play. And now for my hand, that's it for the magicians and that. Now for the hand traps, I do play 2 Ashes and 2 Ogres. I might up it to 3 and 3. I'm not sure yet. I did want to see them more often, but when I did have them at 3 and 3, I saw them way too often. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there, but I need to see what I do there with
We got homework. We gotta keep testing. Trying to get better.
Oh yeah. So that's it for the monster lineup. Now for spells, I do play. Let's see. 2 Pen Calls. Great. Oh man, if you open up Pen Call or a Duelist Alliance with a Dark Worm, phenomenal. Because guess what? You get to pitch it, and you haven't summoned yet, and then you get your 2 magicians that you need. On top of that, you get the Dark Worm play going. Great card. 2 Duelist Alliance, so to search out your Pendulum Call. 2 Dragon Shrines and 1 Foolish Burial. 2 Dragon Shrines are for the Dark Worms, and the Foolish Burial is for the Dark Worm, plus if you need, in case maybe you don't have, you already finished your foolish, your Darkborn plays and stuff like that, and you do have you do want to have a Black Fang that you want to resolve to be able to special summon, just dump a Magician in there and be able to special summon it.
Nice.
And last but not least, Pot of Desires. I have grown to like this card because it does unbrick my hand. Yeah, sometimes I banish all 3 Black Fangs or all 3 Chronographs, but guess what? I have played it enough times to be able to say that it's a plus card. It's definitely a card you should be running.
More often than not, it helps you out. That's all you need.
Exactly. And with the great thing about Pen Magicians, you can resolve 2 of them and still win.
Saucy.
So that's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck. The big boss.
The main man himself.
Main man himself. The one that everybody's afraid of.
That's the one that everyone tries to stop.
Yeah, yeah. Great card. You can even, now that we know that people are playing ogres and effect veilers, well, you can't really do much about effect veiler, but ogres, you could definitely go ahead and play around them by using his effect or not using his effect and things like that. But great card. It is your combo piece to make the astrograph loop, and start making your plays happen. Next, I play 1 Zephyra Metatron. It's a three pointing down, so you're not giving your opponent a pendulum zone, another extra deck pendulum summon with Decode Talker. And on top of that, when it's once per turn on your turn, you can banish one of your cards and one of their extra deck monster cards until the end phase, which is phenomenal. And the last effect is, if any of your extra deck summoned monsters, that includes pendulums, because if pendulums were summoned from the extra deck, that's an extra deck monster, are destroyed by a battle or card effect, you get to recycle any monster from your graveyard. So if you need a hand trap, you can pick a hand trap. Any monster from your graveyard back to your hand, or any face-up pendulum monster back to your hand.
Nice.
And 1 Decode Talker to push for game, and to push for maybe Zephyra's already exhausted and you need another Link 3 to be able to make the Vortex play. Great card. Phenomenal. I didn't have it at Atlanta and I missed it, and I'm glad I added it in this time around. That's it for links. Now for my fusions, I play 2 Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom. Oh my god, this card can copy anything. Like when I was actually going, so Jacob and I ended up
out of 344, we ended up playing each other. It's ridiculous.
So, while playing him, he had ABC Buster in graveyard, and I was tempted to copy ABC Buster, but I didn't have a card to discard in my hand. So,
if you would have done that, I think I would have cried.
But it has won me games by copying other people's effects, and phenomenal card. And on top of that, if you copy somebody's effects, it gives all your monster piercing damage, which is great in this format, because they go, all right, I'm gonna summon a bunch of these tokens, and you're like, okay, attack, pure 2800. It's great. And of course, Vortex Dragon. Oh, this card negates everything. Phenomenal card, and it gets to recycle. It's a recycle. So like what I like to hit is my Time Gazer and Stargazer, because they're the one-ofs, and if I get an Astrograph and I need an extra monster on board, now I recycled it. It's great, and it has a 3K booty. That's it for my fusions. Now for my XZs, I play 1 Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, which gets me the Vortex Dragon, and if you can't manage to get it off board, you're gonna want to you can use its attack negate, where if anybody attacks into something you don't like, you can just attach 1 and negate it. And if it goes to the graveyard by any means necessary, then you get to special summon an Odd Eyes fusion monster from your deck, which is Vortex Dragon.
Just quick shout out to Andy for ruining a Pendulum player's life that misplayed hard because of this.
Yes, because of that.
Oh man.
So if your opponent goes purple poison odd eyes, you're gonna be like,
Okay.
Next, oh man, Hope Harbinger. You summon this bad boy up. You can, because the thing is, it doesn't negate just spell activation cards. It does spell activation and effect. So if Diagram's on board, which it happened, he goes effective Diagram to pop something. I was like, all right, negate and steal, because you add it as material. You don't negate and destroy. You negate and steal. So like Cosmo Town, they get a destruction effect. No, you just take it. So phenomenal card. And on top of that, you detach one and it redirects the attack to it. So it's a 3k booty in attack mode, or if you have it in defense mode, it's still 2500, which is still pretty big. Next I play Naruto. Naruto negates spells and traps, and it's used 2 level 6s, and it's pretty big, 2700. This guy, man, I won a game because of him, just because I didn't have enough on board, but I had two level 4s and summoned him out. And what it does is, when you detach one, you battle into something, you detach one, you take all of its attack, so now it's 0, and it adds it to it. So if you go against the Blue Eyes, it adds 3k, so it's a 5500 straight to the life points. Tornado Dragon, amazing. It definitely, anybody who has back row, they start getting afraid, just because as soon as you summon that out, especially if you're going first, whatever they put down, if they don't like it, just attach. If you don't like it, detach, and you can just hit them.
Nice.
Great. And now that's it for my XZs, and now for my synchro plays, I play Omega for the recycle for Electromite, because you know
Cherries is a thing.
So you get them out, you wait for your opponent's standby phase, then you recycle 1 Electromite so that you can copy it with starting Venom. Then when they do something, take a card away. This card, Regeki, pretty much a freaking Regeki. So with this one, summon it, Regeki the board. Now right after that, you attack it to anything. Let's say you attack it to a Blue Eyes. It's much bigger, right? The Blue Eyes is 3k, this is 2500, but it has a Ring of Destruction effect. So you go swing into it and effect to Ring of Destruction. So you literally just blow them up, and your opponent takes the attack of the monster as damage. And our last extra deck monster, Ignister, and I actually did summon him out this time around, and I'm glad I had it. I was able to summon it out and spin out. I forgot what I sent back, but great card to have, and it's a must-have. Even though you might not go into it much, but it's 2850, which is huge, and the effect.
Does it target?
No. Nope. If it just says you can target 1 Pendulum monster on the field, or 1 card in the Pendulum Zone, so that can even be your opponent's. It doesn't have to be yours. It could be your opponent's Pendulum monster or in the Pendulum Zone. Destroy it, and if you do, shuffle 1 card on the field.
Okay, so you could destroy it. So you could destroy your purple poison, send a problematic card back to the deck, purple poison's effect to destroy something else.
Yep.
And you're Gucci.
Yep.
Nice.
Exactly.
Saucy.
So that's it for the extra deck. Now for the side deck, I play 6 hand traps in the side deck. So my third of the each, my 2 draws for the mirror match or anything that really draws heavy. And then this is something I tried this time. I never saw it. Every time I said it, I never saw it. But I'm gonna continue trying it out, just because of the FTK variant of Pen Magicians is real, and I definitely want to use it to stop my Pen Magician play. Like, go ahead, side this in for your mirror match. Either take away the Electromite, or if you know it's a FTK, take away their Starving Venom, which they cannot do anything without Starving Venom. So that's it for the hand traps. Now I play 2 Lava Golems. I don't know how I feel about the Lava Golems, because I did see them in my hand, but I never got to use them because the opponent either A, didn't summon enough monsters, or B, I needed my normal summon. So I might switch them out for Kaijus, or 2 Kaijus and 1 Lava Golem. but I don't know what I'm gonna do with this right now. But it has won me a game in the past where I couldn't get the life points down enough, but left it on their board and they took 1,000 and they died next turn.
Oof.
So it's a good card to have. The 2 Twin Twisters, great because you get 2, and especially if you have Dark Worm in your hand, it's a plus because you go effect. So Twin Twister, pitch Dark Worm, pop two monsters, and it's not a neg for you because the card you threw in, you want it in your graveyard.
Yeah, and
so
it
you
special summons it.
Special summon it.
Facts.
Denko Sekka. I did see it once this time around, but I never got to normal summon it because I needed to normal summon something else. But definitely great card to have, especially since we're starting to see more back row. We're starting to see like
We're in a very
Strike,
trappy format.
Solemn Judgment. You see the Solemn package. You see Trick Stars, Reincarnation. They can't really activate Reincarnation if
Dinkle's up.
if the Denkos are up. And Paleozoics Turbo Frogs is definitely still a thing.
Yeah, they're still around.
So, and it's level 4, 1700. It's pretty big. Great card. And last but not least, the Evenly Matches. Oh man, just seeing these in my hand, phenomenal.
I wish I could say the same.
I mean, to each their own. Great card to have in your side deck. And that is it. That's my side deck and that's everything. Yeah.
All right, sweet. So, Alon, do you remember your matchups?
Actually, I have it written down right
You
here.
have it written down, even better. So, how'd you do? What'd you play against?
So round 1, I played against Pen Magicians, and we went into game 3. Game 1, I took. Game 2, he took. Game 3, we were battling it out, and then he ended up taking it. So I ended up getting my first loss there. My second matchup. Well, which like your first matchup being a mirror match is not fun at all,
No.
especially since you're still warming up and all that crap. No, it's not cool. Then my next one was Invoked Mech Knights.
How was that?
Well, first of all, he never saw any of his invoked cards because he kept banishing with Power Desire. So I basically just played Mech Knights, and honestly, I didn't know what to do with them. I have all the cards, but I've never actually seen them in play, and I haven't really dealt with them, and I lost. I took I didn't win a single game for that round.
But those are the only 2 you lost, right?
Yeah.
So we're good then.
Round 1, round 2, I lost, and round 3 through 9, I took wins. The next one I went was the Shadal Dinos, and my opponent, I set up a negate board where my opponent couldn't even see any of his Shadal cards, and then I had enough negates to stop both his double evolution fills. So
Done deal.
Round 4, ABCs, which was our boy Jacob over here. He drew like ass.
Yeah, he didn't get to play Yu-Gi-Oh. We'll leave it at that. Let's go. Next one.
He didn't get to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Round 5 was against Patrick. I gotta give a shout out to Patrick. We sat down and we played it. We ended up playing it out, and he gave me the win either way. Whatever it was gonna be, he was gonna give me the win just because he had his invite and I hadn't got my invite. So I need to give a shout out to Patrick.
Big thank you
Because without Patrick there, like I don't know what my rest of the matchups would have been like. I don't know if I would have even made top cut. So thank you again. Round 6 was Pen Magicians again. This opponent, he had just gotten his Electromites the previous day, so he really didn't know what he was doing with the deck. But I took the W in 2 games there. Next one was, I go to a regional to go against other people, but I kept going against like people from locals, like Jacob, Patrick, and now Yanni. True Dracos. he couldn't draw into a single monster both games, so I took the win there. And then round 8 was my funnest matchup all day long, which was against Trickstars. So game 1, he took the win, just getting me down with because I kept searching, so he got me down with Lystric on board, or Licorice on board. Game 2, I went and said I sided him for going second, and I told him he could start, and he drew into all his going second cards like Raw Sphere Mode, Evenly Match, cards like that.
Troll.
So I made so he could only set one card, and by the looks of it, I OTK'd him there. He didn't wait, because I have 8K and 8K, I OTK'd him. So game 3, that's where it got spicy. We were going back and forth until basically we were both like top decking. So he managed to get Swordbreaker on board. Swordbreaker went and popped the field spell and and I think my Electromite that I had on board or something like that. And then he swung for 2K. Then next turn I was able to make an Electromite and an Astrograph, so I took out the Break Sword by battling it over, and I had the Electromite still up. Then right after that he made Hollybell. Hollybell attacked over Electromite and then left Astrograph on board. Then because he attacked over Electromite, I had Chronograph in hand, summoned Chronograph. So now I have Astrograph and Chronograph.
Done deal.
And then after that, I attacked over that Hollybell, and then I was gonna swing for game with Chronograph, and he activates Reincarnation. And I had like Evenly Match and a Zanky Magician in my hand, like nothing. And then so I pitch it out and I draw into Astrograph, and I forgot what the second card is, but it doesn't. Oath Dragon, and I draw into Oath Dragon. So I had to go and redirect my attack into, because he summoned Hollybell. So I redirected my attack and crashed both my Chronograph and his Hollybell, and which activated Astrograph's effect to come out and swing for game.
Done.
He
unbricked your hand for you. He gave you a gift.
He unbricked my hand. It was phenomenal. And then last match was True Draco Mech Knight. I faced so many damn Mech Knights that I was just like, all right, I already know what I'm doing now. So game 1 I took the win. Game 2 I took the loss, and then game 3 game 1 I set up triple negate board, my first one of the day, and couldn't do anything. So game 2 I lost. Game 3 I set up enough negates with hand traps in hand to just stop him, and then I ended up taking the win because he attacked into Vortex into Absolute, which brought out Vortex Dragon, but then he kaiju'd, but I had my skills, so I pen summoned and just went for game.
Nice.
And that was my 9 rounds.
So how's your overall experience?
If you guys can get out there and do a regional or huge events, YCS, even a YCS, it's a great experience. It's a great learning experience. I learned a lot going to the YCS. I did go 6 wins, 3 losses, but I didn't make day 2. But I did the side events, and it was a great experience. You learn so much, and you get to interact with so many players. And then here at the regional, you see a lot of people that you know, especially since it's in your home state, and you get to build relationships, and you have people, especially out there, people are there helping each other and things like that. I mean, yeah, it does get a little heated when you're in the match, but afterwards, it's just a card game.
It's not a card game, it's life.
There you go.
All right, you got any shout outs to anybody?
I gotta give a shout out to our boy Jacob here for housing RG and I for the weekend, so that we don't have to spend any money on hotels, and I don't have to drive from Miami up here and then drive right back down like some of the guys did. I need to give another shout out to all of STR, man. Love you guys. You guys are the bomb, and we're getting better. We're getting out there. And then I want to give a shout out to Andres. Definitely the man, the boy. He taught me how to play the deck. He gave me the confidence. He's the one that told me, hey, you should go to the YCS, and I did. And I had fun, and then now I jumped over here, and guess what? May 22nd, got my invite, and I it's definitely got to give it to him. He definitely pushed me to be where I'm at right now in the Yu-Gi-Oh community.
Nice. So there you guys have it. Alon Camus, number 22 out of 344. Yeah. Give it up to him, you guys. This is Jacob from STR signing out, boys.